These Lawrence Bulldogs enter tonight's game coming off a 69-45 win over Waterville in last Saturday's quarterfinals. Behind one of this year's better offensive threats, 6'2" Aaron Harris led an explosive attack early and ended the game with 33 points. Harris was 6 for 12 in three-point attempts and 9 for 11 from the free throw line. Point guard Tommy Reynolds added 8 points, also 5 assists and 4 steals. Senior Andy Goggin played a strong game inside and also ended up with 8 points. Billy Cole 7 points. Kelly Dyer with 6. And Keith Knight with 5 points rounded out the Bulldog scoring. The Bangor High Rams won their quarterfinal game 57-48 over the Coney Rams. Bangor featured a very balanced scoring attack with 4 players in double figures. Senior John Tennant, who was playing his first game after a bout with mononucleosis, gave the Rams a boost early as he scored 8 of his 10 points in the first half. Because of his sickness, John had to wear a flak jacket to protect his spleen. Senior guard Mark Reed's 14 points and senior Dean Heestand, also with 14, led the Rams in scoring. 6'5" Ryan Bradford shot 4 for 5 from the field and ended up with 11 points. Chris Pickering was the only other Ram to figure in the scoring as he ended up with 7. So those are their quarterfinal wins. We're down here on the floor now with the 2 head coaches. First, I'll talk to Mike McGee. You had a quarterfinal game against quite an arch rival there. Coming into the semis now against another rival. It's building with this series with Bangor.
It sure is, and I just hope one of these times we can beat them. They seem to have our number, and Roger Reed and his club beat us twice in 2 close games this year. But you know, our win over Waterville, that was a big win for us because that's our neighbor, and you know, we played extremely well, and it was a good one to get under our belt.
Get them going from outside tonight, Mike McGee, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Mike McGee. And Roger, you said after the first game in the quarterfinals, it certainly wasn't your best game, but you won it anyway. What do you feel now going to the second one?
Well, I feel good, Tim. I think we've had a good week of practice. We have a great deal of respect for Lawrence. We don't expect an easy game here tonight. They're a formidable opponent, and we just hope we come out and play real well tonight. It'll be a hard-fought game, I believe, both ways.
Great. Thanks very much, Roger. Okay. Appreciate it. And that game is coming up in just moments. It's Bangor against Lawrence in Game 1 tonight.
Senior guard.
That was the Lawrence High School Band with the national anthem. Lawrence and Bangor about to square off. The winner will play the winner of the upcoming game between Old Town and Skowhegan. That'll be for the Eastern Maine Championship. It'll be played tomorrow night. It'll be the nightcap following the Winslow-Lawrence girls game.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Willie Gavitt.
Who started that rumor?
That's more than a rumor, that's fact. Happy birthday.
Yes, it is. I'm afraid it is. And thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Should be a great night of basketball. This is always a lot of fun. This semifinal round, we had 2 terrific games last year this night.
This has the potential, I mentioned it a little bit in the pregame, where there's some outstanding basketball talent on the floor, and also there's going to be, I think, perhaps more emotion in this ball game than you may see even in that Eastern Maine final tomorrow night.
John Tennant and Aaron Harris in the center circle to get the game underway. The ball's up, and it goes to Bangor. Returning All-State guard Mark Reed with the ball for the Bangor Rams, guarded by Kelly Dyer. Ryan Bradford back up for Tennant. Now Reed will step in and pop. Bangor's on top 2-zip.
Pretty good sign for Reed when he heats up. He's a streak shooter, and he can put the ball in the hole from just about anyone on the court.
Dyer moved it to the corner. Back out to Dyer from Richards. Alan Richards fires from 15 feet. That's off. Deep rebound. Tennant bumped down, gets a hand on it. It's out of bounds. It'll be Lawrence ball.
What you're looking at now, Bangor's running, coaching term, I would call it junk defense. Basic box and one, where they have Tennant, I believe it's on Harris. Matching Harris, Tennant man-to-man.
Number 40 is Aaron Harris. He exploded in the first quarter on Saturday against Waterville. 3 early three-pointers. 11 of the team's first 13 points. Tommy Reynolds had the ball, lost it, and now it's away to Bangor. Mark Reed moves on Reynolds. He'll move it off to John Tennant. Tennant will fire, same spot where Reed hit from. That one won't go. Deep rebound. It's away to Dyer of Lawrence. Aaron Harris, 6'3" senior. Knocked out of bounds. Lawrence will keep it.
Yeah. Bangor's gone over. I guess we should say that's a diamond in one as opposed to a box in one. The reason they call it a diamond in one's obvious.
Tommy Reynolds, 6-foot-tall junior. He'll handle the ball a lot for Lawrence tonight. Harris will fire a 3. Got it. 3-2 Lawrence.
And he's shooting over Tennant, who jumps pretty well and is at 6'3". That's a pretty good shot for Harris to get out of the way early in the game to get his confidence up.
Mark Reed goes down low now. Tennant will take it up strong. The first foul of the game will be called on Billy Cole. Harris, a great jump shooter, Willie.
We saw Harris at the opening game on Saturday just light it up from the three-point line. What we're seeing here is he left off, picked up where he left off. That's what I'm trying to say. See, I'm cranked for this one. Adrenaline rush.
John Tennant, Jack Cosgrove's newest football recruit at the University of Maine, makes his first free throw. Tennant with a little bulk under his shirt there. He's wearing a flak jacket. Recovering from mononucleosis. Needs some protection there for, basically for his spleen. Bangor's back up 4-3 as John Tennant makes them both. John, the son of the Bangor girls coach, Tom Tennant. Tommy Reynolds gets to the lane, kicks it back out for Dyer. Dyer spins, goes back out to Reynolds, and now Dyer again. Kelly Dyer, 5'11" senior, steps up, looking in the lane, gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds will move in. His shot is up. He got fouled. It'll be on Ryan Bradford.
Right now, it looks as though the officials are going to call this one real tight.
First of the game on Bradford, first of the game on Bangor.
Anything on a where you get a mismatch, particularly in a zone matchup like that, there are so many gaps that are open. When you're running a 4-man, again, that diamond in one, there's a lot of paint that is open, and Lawrence has to find it.
Rolls in for Tommy Reynolds. He'll try again. Just under 50% on the season from the line. Tommy Reynolds. 4-4 is our score. 5-4 Lawrence. Mark Reed will face some pressure from Kelly Dyer now after the Lawrence score. And Reed brings it up. A little bump with Dyer. Pickering goes down low. Dean Heaston will fire. That's off, no good. Rebound knocked around. It's away to Lawrence and Aaron Harris. Reynolds will push it up. He's in the lane, kicks it off for goal, out of bounds. And Bangor will get it back.
Put the brakes on. We talked about that ABA system last night.
Little skid there. Lots of folks skidding today. The weather has kept the crowd down a little, especially on the Lawrence side. It's understandable.
I like to think they knew you were on, Joe. Credit where credit is due.
I think I'll go with the weather as the explanation there. Pickering throws it out along the baseline. Pass intended for Tennant, and it's a Lawrence ball.
Turnovers. Keep track of turnovers now as opposed to takeaways. That was simply a turnover.
Unforced.
Unforced bad pass.
Bangor makes very few of those. Aaron Harris in the lane, tripped, loose balls away to Reynolds. He'll go baseline, shoots it over Tennant. That's no good, and the board's away to Heaston. Chris Pickering moves it quickly. Reed pulls up, fires, hits. Three-pointer for Mark Reed. His first 2 shots from the field go in, and it's a 7-5 lead for the Bangor Rams.
Didn't waste much time as far as getting the ball on their defensive, I should say, offensive end.
It was in this round last year where Mark Reed made his first big stand as a dramatic playoff performer against Old Town. Kelly Dyer from out deep. That's off the back of the rim. A high rebound. Saved in by Reed. He got away with it there, and Heaston will come up with the ball for Bangor. Back to Reed. Tricky dribbles at the top of the key. Inside Pickering. Fakes right. Turns around the other way. That's off. And Richards comes down with a rebound for Lawrence. Lawrence will walk it up.
I think Mark wanted to let another 3 go, but bobbled it for a moment and had to give it up.
Tommy Reynolds for Lawrence, coached by Mike McGee. From out deep, it won't go for Harris, and Heaston gets it for Bangor. Halfway through the first quarter, Bangor's up 2, 7-5. Reed works on Reynolds, fires from the free throw line. Mark Reed feels it in the first quarter.
You talk about, I think, a good way of putting it, that feeling, or the athletes now, I guess, refer to it as being in the zone.
7 quick points for Mark Reed in this game. It's 9-5, Bangor on top. Reynolds kicks it out to the corner for Billy Cole. He'll try it. That's off. Deep rebound. Reynolds gets it. Good hustle by Tommy Reynolds. Reynolds in the lane. Moves it off for Harris. He'll drive baseline. Shoots over Bradford. No good. Bradford got a hand on the rebound. It's away though to Reynolds of Lawrence. Knocked away by Heaston. And Tennant moves out with it for Bangor. Mark Reed drives in the lane. Gets the shot up. He got fouled, and Reed is going to the line.
You're a player. You just, again, Joe, as you said, you just have that feeling. Now, the last one we saw Mark Reed throw up that he scored, that was a tough shot, going to his left, reversing the dribble, not seeing the target till he was in the air, yet being successful with a shot.
And he's at the line with Bangor up 9-5, 3:18 to go. We're in the first quarter, 10-5 Bangor. That foul was on Alan Richards, his first.
If you can get people involved in the game by doing something yourself, much as Mark Reed is doing now, it excites everybody and it gets them to play up to that next level. They're not tentative.
11-5 Bangor. Reed with 9. Less than 5 minutes gone. Reynolds will bring it up over midcourt. Steps in the lane, draws traffic, kicks it back out. They'll go up high. Kelly Dyer.
And we're seeing right now, Bangor does not have a lot of respect for Lawrence's outside shooting, perhaps, except that of Harris.
Walked away, and it's away to Dean Heaston. Heaston has a nose for the ball on the defensive end, Willie. Comes up with it a lot.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He goes to the ball. He anticipates well.
Pickering, 15 feet out on the left side. Moves on Cole, dishes off. Mark Reed. 11 points for Mark Reed, 13-5. Bangor's up. Mike McGee wants a timeout. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Bangor Auditorium. 13-5 Bangor, and Mark Reed's got 11 of his team's 13.
We saw some of this, I believe it was last night. We talked about it, playing in back of the defender, so you go in back of him. For a split second, he loses you, and that's exactly what Mark did on that one. Just backyard basketball, split the defense.
Roger Reed, Mark's father, the Bangor coach, dismisses his team. They'll head back out on the court. And their fans love this fast start.
Yeah. Bangor's been getting some awfully good shots to make.
And Reynolds to bring it up. Kip Keeling's in the game now, number 12. He'll pick Reynolds up at the top of the key.
Now we're going, it looks as though it's a 1-3-1 zone. They get out of that diamond.
Billy Cole with it. Bangor's done a good job of limiting Harris's shots. In the lane, they'll go to Goggin. The turnaround is blocked away, and a foul will be called on Bangor. It'll be on Eric Murray. And that's Murray's first. He's just checked in. He's a 5'10 junior.
A lot of coaches will do that. During a timeout, they'll change up the defense just for one time down and then say, okay, next possession, we go back to what we were in. But it does slow down the offensive pattern of the other team at times.
Andy Goggin, the 6'4 senior, misses from the free throw line. Makes 2 out of every 3 during the season. Second one's good. 13-6 now that Bangor leads at 7. Rams will bring it up. Old Town and Skowhegan to follow this one. Kip Keeling, son of the University of Maine varsity coach, Rudy Keeling. At it. They'll leave it off now to Tennant. He'll pull up and fire. John Tennant off the rim, no good. Keeling gets the offensive board on the baseline. Good work by Keeling. Smallest player on the floor at 5'8". Keeling sets a pick for Tennant. Tennant will go to the left side and take the pass from Mark Reed. Tennant looks inside for Bradford. Nothing there. Keeling. Guarded by Reynolds. Keeling goes to Mark Reed. John Tennant outside the three-point line. Cole's there defensively. Tennant steps in, throws it down low for Keeling out of bounds.
I think Tennant forgot just for a moment that Keeling's only 5'8", not 6'8".
13-6. Bangor is up in the first quarter. Great to have you along tonight for Class A boys Eastern Maine semifinal action. 2 fabulous games last night, and we look for more of the same tonight. Tommy Reynolds of Lawrence with it at the top of the key. Moves, gets bumped by Keeling. We'll get the call there against Kip Keeling.
Yeah.
That'll be his first.
Yeah. No shots.
Minute 22 to go in the first quarter. That foul was called by Jeff Benson, who is an official from Western Maine. And here working tonight's game, Dean Heaston and Chris Pickering come back in. Keeling and Murray return to the bench. And Tennant signaling a new defense. As Lawrence inbounds, Aaron Harris has it out deep on the right side. And now Reynolds. Reynolds in the lane, down low for Cole. Good catch, he'll put it up and won't go. Off the board, Goggins got it, he's up strong, he scores. Andy Goggin with a strong move to the basket. It's 13-8 now. Reed pulls up, fires, no good. The first miss for Mark Reed.
Tennant.
And we've got a foul on Tennant in the rebounding action. Yep. Mark Reed went 7 minutes and 3 seconds before he missed a shot. First foul on John Tennant. Lawrence has fought back here. Got the lead to 5. Always very tenacious, especially in tournament play. Reynolds pass to the corner, goes out of bounds.
Again, it's that zone matchup where they're going a diamond and one. Now Reed's gone over to take Harris for a while, give Tennant a little bit of a break. A spot pass where Reynolds thought Tennant was, I should say Tennant, but Harris was going to be there, and he wasn't.
Reed will bring it up. 37 seconds left, first quarter. Ryan Bradford holds it high, top of the key. Heaston now looking for Tennant. Heaston will move on Harris and go to Reed. Tennant. He's guarded by Reynolds. Tennant brings it back out to Reed. Chris Pickering plays into the lane, moves in traffic, shoots, won't go, and Cole's away with it for Lawrence. Reynolds will push it. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. Reynolds shuts down, kicks it back out. The long one, good. 3. Harris got 3 back, and it's a 2-point game.
Do some damage real quick, don't they, with those threes?
3 too long at the buzzer. And Lawrence has fought back to cut the Bangor lead to 2, 13-11 after 1. We'll be back to the Bangor Auditorium in 1 minute. After the timeout, Lawrence scored the last 6 points of the quarter to cut the lead to 13-11, and they have possession, a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3 as the second quarter gets underway. Lawrence and Bangor, boys Class A semifinal action. Harris loops it inside, a collision there. It'll be called on Mark Reed. Wow. Pass intended for Richards. Reed came from the weak side. looking for the steal, and he'll pick up his first foul.
Bangor's gone straight man-to-man, and what you're getting is basic help side defense where Mark came over. I believe that was on Goggins, tried to help out, but the official thought that perhaps he got there a night too late.
Just a bit.
Small portion, though.
15 seconds gone, the second quarter, turning in the lane. Goggins blocked by Bradford.
Bradford, take that back. Take that back.
Here's Tennant with the ball for Bangor. Signed his letter of intent today to play football at UMaine. Quarterback in high school. Reed now finds Bradford at the right side. Pickering to Reed. Up top for Bradford. Bradford gets fouled.
Yeah.
There'll be a pushing foul on Goggin.
We've seen some of that first quarter. I was wondering when they were going to start calling it. They've allowed them to put their hands on the offensive player, because he felt that he was guiding him a little bit too much on that one.
Neither team shooting yet. Bangor has 5 team fouls, though. Lawrence only 3. Pickering whips it into the corner. Bradford drives left baseline down low. Heaston off the glass, no good. Heaston on the follow up, strong, got it.
Strong move. Did well to even come up with that pass, and then to stay with it and have 2 attempts, the second one being successful. Pretty good effort on his part.
Dean Heaston, a good player. 15-11. Bangor up by 4 now. Early second quarter action. A collision on the baseline. They'll call it on Reynolds.
Yeah.
Chris Pickering there defensively.
Bradford, that last one we saw, he made the inbounds pass to Eden, and the defensive player almost got that away from him. He came down with it, went up, missed, came down, went back up with it, finally scored. Coaches like to see that second and third effort.
Mark Reed with it, moves up to the timeline and over. Bothered by Reynolds. Reynolds poked it away, but Reed recovers. Good work by Tommy Reynolds.
Active hands.
Driving is Tennant off the glass. Can't get it. Rebound away. Reynolds of Lawrence got in there and got the ball, too. He'll move it up to Dyer. Runner on the baseline won't go for Harris, and it's away to Pickering of Bangor. Reed behind the back, gets free at the left side, steps back, finds Pickering. Bradford. He'll move with Goggin there defensively. Kicks it to the corner for Mark Reed. Pickering again. Pass across, picked off. Aaron Harris on the breakaway, dunks it. 15-13, Bangor by 2.
Well, it wasn't a shack attack, but it was pretty good. You can tell when he goes down, initially, he had some thoughts of perhaps 1, then, why not 2?
First dunk I've seen this year in high school basketball. They're pretty rare, but that was a good one.
Yeah.
Aaron Harris at 6'3". That's a big jump.
He read that like a book. And he's got to sit down. He's so excited. He's got to take a break.
Foul was called on Kelly Dyer. Inbound pass made to Knack. Clark, who's just checked in for Bangor. A good catch by Clark. Reed lost the handle, pokes it in the corner, out of bounds. And Lawrence will get it back. The Bulldogs and their fans are fired up after that dunk on the breakaway by Aaron Harris. 15-13.
Now, let me ask you this. If he had left from behind the three-point line and done that, would have been counted as 3.
I believe it would.
Yes, it would have. A little trivia here for them.
Second quarter action, 5:38 to go. Goggin sets up inside. They can't get it to him. Now Reynolds drives baseline. Shoots, blocked from behind. It'll be the second foul of the game on Mark Reed.
Yeah. Remember what we said when we talked about how Mark Reed, he uses his ability at times to get his teammates excited and into the ball game. Hey, Harris was doing the same thing with that dunk that he had, and you can see the Lawrence players a little bit more aggressive offensively, a lot more aggressive defensively.
5:31 to go in the second quarter. Tommy Reynolds, the 6-foot-tall junior, is up at the line.
He has one of those attributes you don't coach: quickness. You either have it or you don't.
Reynolds will miss the first one. He'll try again. Quick feet and quick hands, as we saw as he was harassing Mark Reed on the dribble out a couple moments ago. Reynolds' second shot's good. 1-point ball game, 15-14. Bangor up on top. John Tennant with the ball, brings it over midcourt, stopped by Dyer. Clark now to Heaston. Up high for Bradford. Bradford kicks it back out to Heaston, left corner. Dean Heaston pressured heavily by Harris, and get a double dribble.
Yeah. Right now, the difference is just the tenacity, the increased defensive effort by the Bulldogs of Lawrence. That's what's turned it right here.
Roger Reed wants a timeout. His team's up 1, 15-14. Back to the Bangor Auditorium in 30 seconds. The Lawrence Bulldogs pretty happy. They've cut the Bangor lead to 1. Bangor was up 13-5. Since then, they've scored 2 points, while Lawrence has had 9. And Lawrence could take the lead for the first time in the game. Second time. They had one early, I'm sorry. They had 3-2.
Straight man-to-man. Whoa.
Aaron Harris, 4-3. No good. Reynolds with the offensive board. He'll go up and he'll score. Tommy Reynolds puts Lawrence up by 1.
And Reed didn't challenge him because of the 2 fouls.
Bradford recovers at the top of the key. Richards there defensively. They'll go to Tennant. Dean Heaston will take it from out deep. That's off. The rebound to Bradford. Ryan Bradford comes up with the offensive board. Tennant will step in. Harris stops him. Whips it in the lane. Good catch. Bradford can't get it. Heaston got a hand on it. So did Tennant, loose near the sideline. Run down by Reynolds. Tommy Reynolds will push it up court. Goes baseline left side. Blocked out of bounds.
We've talked about Mark Reed when you get in foul trouble. He's got 2 right now. We're only in the second quarter, and people that are watching and on TV can see there was no challenge at all. When Reynolds got the ball, Mark says, I'm not going to pick up that third one.
Matt Clark got a hand on the inbound pass, and Bradford steals. Reed up for Bradford. Tough pass out of bounds. 4:08 left in the second quarter. It's 16-15. Lawrence with the lead over Bangor.
I think all coaches would like to have their players do the perfect thing, but golly, that doesn't happen sometimes.
Mike McGeehan, his staff, looking on.
I think there are only 3 people in Lawrence that aren't on the staff, aren't there?
Harris drives left baseline, shuts down, brings it back out to Reynolds. Great patience by Lawrence. They fell behind early, but they just fought their way back. Reynolds has been a big key. Missed that one, though. And the rebound's off to Heaston. Reed pulls up, fires, hits. Yeah. 3-pointer for Mark Reed. He's been quiet for a while.
As soon as he crossed over the midcourt line, you knew where the ball was headed. And a lot of times a player needs that to get their confidence back, because he's been a little bit sporadic the last minute or 2.
18-16. Bangor back on top. Tennant thought about the steal, backs off though. Harris in the lane, blocked from behind by John Tennant. Recovered though. Keith Knight's into the game for Lawrence, number 32. Gets it out to Reynolds. Tommy Reynolds off to Knights. Knights a junior, 6'3". Aaron Harris now, guarded by Tennant. Harris in the lane, fires, misses. He got fouled though.
Yeah.
Foul will be on Nat Clark.
Reed already has, I think, what, 2 from 3-point line, at least 1. Well, that's going to make either his second or third on that last trip down. Harris is so explosive. You watch the 2 players, Reynolds and Harris, and you look as though, yeah, Harris initially has more explosive velocity, but Harris gets from spot A to spot B awful quick too, deceiving at times, and he can cover that much area.
2 fantastic athletes. The first shot is off the rim, no good by Aaron Harris. Harris, a senior. 1 for 2, and it's 18-17 now. Bangor with the lead and the ball. Stay with us at halftime. Tim Throckmorton on the Bangor Auditorium floor. Lots going on. He stood up. Couldn't get it, but he got fouled.
Ran a basic stack at the top. This is what happens. You put two people on either side, particularly at the high post, you run a stack. Somebody's got to play behind. Somebody's got to play up top. And what happens is, we just saw there, you get confused. Well, who's got him? If I got the first man out or the second man, are we going to stay straight man to man or what? Are we going to switch? And by the time you figure it out, that's usually what happens.
So important to talk to your teammates when you're playing man-to-man defense in particular. If you're not absolutely aware all the time of what your teammate is doing, you get in trouble.
There's a lot more to talking than people realize.
Matt Clark getting some attention on the Bangor bench, medical attention, as Heaston makes his first shot. And Dean Heaston, the 6'2 senior, will shoot again. He makes them both. Heaston, a very good free throw shooter during the season at 80.6%.
That is. Anything over 75.
A note to Lawrence, don't foul Chris Pickering. 84.8% from the line. That'd be very, very good in the NBA.
Yes.
Reynolds to the free throw line. Stopped there by Murray. Kicks it off to the corner. Cole is blocked by Pickering. He tried to save it, couldn't get it.
Now, you gotta like what Pickering did. He let Cole go to his left. Cole's right-handed. He's got to bring the ball up in the defender's face. And we're going to get a real good look at it here. Puts the ball on the court. There he is. Right-handed shooter. Right there. You can let the guy get a step on you and still get to the ball.
Comes right back to him in a sense. Aaron Harris to the hoop. Up strong. Good move. Wouldn't go for him, though. Loose ball. Knocked around. Put up a foul call. Good work by Alan Richards on the boards there. He got the shot up. Wouldn't go, but the foul will be called against the Bangor Rams.
And I think Bangor, several of the players found themselves underneath the hoop.
Bradford called him foul.
The only way you're going to rebound if you're underneath the hoop is what? If it goes through. By then, you're going to take it out.
Second foul on Ryan Bradford. Lawrence in the bonus situation. Bangor will be there on the next Lawrence foul as the first shot is made at the line by Richards, the junior. Second one's out, and Tennant clears for Bangor. Ron Tennant with long strides. He's only 3 or 4 steps to midcourt. Moves fast on the dribble. Pickering hands it off. Bradford from out deep, short. Harris got it, knocked away, but he recovers. Murray got a hand on it.
Might have been tipped.
Murray's into the game for Bangor. Reed getting a rare and undoubtedly short break. 20-18. Bangor leads. 1:44 to go till halftime. Off Harris's foot into backcourt. Hustling after him. Murray goes to the deck. It goes to Heaston with it. Great work by Murray. Tennant for 3. No good. The rebound, Harris knocked away. Pickering will be called for the foul.
Wow.
Eric Murray wants to play.
Wow. That's our first annual Wow Award. I'll tell you, I can't remember the last time I saw an individual effort as far as going to the floor. He took off 15 feet before he got there. If somebody had opened the door and had a draft, he'd still be floating around in here.
1:31 to go until halftime. Bangor leads Lawrence 20-18. And Aaron Harris is at the line. Cuts the lead to 1. And Harris will step back up with a chance to tie. Well played and hard fought first half. We're all even at 20. 1:31 to go. Second quarter action. Tennant gets away from Reynolds. Kicks it off to Pickering. Murray in the corner. Double team. Looking for help. Knocked away and a steal. Billy Cole comes up with it and goes to Reynolds.
Good anticipation. Lawrence, again, talk about team defense.
Cole up top. Now Reynolds. Tommy Reynolds guarded by Murray. Keith Knights has it up to Reynolds again. Tommy Reynolds will set it up with a minute to go in the quarter. Inside, we get a foul call.
Yeah.
It'll go against Lawrence and Alan Richards.
Yeah, got some banging going on, positioning there. Anytime you look at team defense, what you try and do is you try and make the ball go east to west as opposed to north to south. North to south, somebody's coming into the iron. Keep them going east to west. That's keeping them away from the hoop.
We're tied at 20 as Roger Reed looks on from the Bangor bench, coaching hard in this second quarter. The winner plays tomorrow night. The loser is all done for the year.
Yeah. There'll be an announcement over the PA system. Turn your uniforms into the AD by noon tomorrow.
Easton makes the first one. Bangor back on top. The AD would be Steve Van Attestein at Bangor. Jim Maracchio at Lawrence. Second shot's off the rim and no good. Easton missed that one. And Lawrence will bring it up, down one in the final minute of the second quarter. Reynolds brings it up top. Knights. Harris goes inside. Cole turns in the lane. A foul will be called on Chris Pickering. With 43 seconds left in the quarter, Pickering picks up the foul, his second.
Pretty good inside look. Harris, again, you've got to respect his ability to shoot from outside. And at times, people give you that passing lane. He caught Cole on the inside. Everybody in back of him, nobody in front. Cole got the ball, which is the way it should be.
Cole's hit on the arm, going up, and he'll be at the line. 21-21 as Billy Cole drains it. Billy Cole's a junior, as is Tommy Reynolds. Also Alan Richards, so 3 of the 5 Lawrence starters back next year. Second shot's up, get a lane violation though. And it's going to be against Lawrence. So Bangor will get the ball back with 43 seconds to go until halftime. Roger Reed has given Mark Reed a long break here, Willie, in the second quarter.
Well, he was struggling. I mean, let's be honest. He wasn't playing. I think perhaps his confidence was draining a little. I think his father wanted to just get him out of there.
Bradford from Murray missed it with the left hand from the left side, and it's cleared off the boards by Andy Goggin. 25 seconds to go, second quarter. 21-21 is our score. Reynolds will drive in the lane, steps in, shoots a tough shot, and it goes for him. And Lawrence takes a 2-point lead. Tommy Reynolds has had a great first half for Lawrence. Tennant, final 10 seconds. Easton, 4 seconds left. In the lane, kicks it out. Murray will fire, no good. Lawrence will take a 2-point lead into the locker room at halftime, 23-21.
Reynolds, with the quickness that he has, nobody picks him up. Nobody. Between the uprights, the Twin Towers, lays it up off the glass.
Got a lot of moves in by the basket. He connects there to give Lawrence the halftime lead, 23-21. All right, Tim, thank you very much. Good first half, Willie, 23-21. Have to give Lawrence a lot of credit. They fell behind early, but they fought back and eventually took the lead.
We talked about emotion versus what we felt perhaps might be a little bit more ability on Bangor's side. And certainly Lawrence has used that emotional lift that they got with some of the defensive plays they had. Reynolds certainly contributing, and that breakaway dunk that Harris had certainly brought Lawrence and the Lawrence fans across the way to their feet, and that really got things going for that last 8 minutes. Look at the halftime stat. That's not great shooting. For a semifinal, 31%, 28%. You get to the foul line, it's a little bit more, particularly on Bangor's side, 87. Turnovers, again, about the same. That's not what's important right now. Stats don't tell the whole story.
Lawrence got to the line 6 more times, made 2 more, and that's our difference on the scoreboard, 2 points. Bangor trailing, they've got the ball to start. Third quarter. Tennant to the hoop. Can't get it. The tip by Reed won't go. Loose. It's in the lane. Pickering puts it up and scores. Pickering stayed with it, got the ball back and put it back, and now it's 23-23.
Yeah, Bangor back in a 2-3 zone. They ended the half in a man-to-man.
Reynolds moves to Richards. Billy Cole back to Reynolds. Drives baseline. He'll shoot. Won't go. Tipped around at the line. Picked up by Dyer. He'll fire. That's off. Easton got it. Knocked it away to Mark Reed, and Reed will push it up court. Dyer is shaken up, or make that Harris is shaken up behind the play. And play is stopped by the referee, Jeff Benson. And Harris is trying to walk it off.
I would say if he's successful in walking it off, when you're a player of Harris's ability, who's a pretty tough kid, and you stay down on that floor, That, I suspect, may be serious.
Many of the Bangor fans join the Lawrence fans standing up and applauding for Aaron Harris, the outstanding player from Lawrence.
You don't like to say that individuals perhaps expound to a one-man team, but he's a big, big loss for Lawrence.
Taking off the left sneaker, so they'll work on his left ankle. Dean Heaston for Bangor. We're tied at 23. Kicks it off Bradford inside. Reynolds got a hand on it. Last touch, though, by Bangor, and it's Lawrence ball. Reynolds, again, very active, Willie, and with the quick hands. Minute and 7 seconds are gone in the third quarter. We're tied at 23. Reynolds stopped by Reed, goes inside. Cole up strong. Lawrence regains the lead.
Keep my eye down here on the bench and see what they're doing with Harris right now.
Knocked away and out of bounds. It'll be Lawrence ball. Lawrence working hard on the defensive end in particular. Look at Aaron Harris.
I'll tell you,
his left ankle worked on.
If they're turning it and he's experiencing pain, usually you don't experience a pain until you stand up. That would appear to be serious at this point.
Reynolds to the baseline. Kicks it back out. Cole a little short on that one, and Reynolds comes up with it. Reynolds is having a game for Lawrence. Off to Cole. He'll step in this time and fire from 15 feet off. And Bradford clears for Bangor. Reed, Easton, good catch, has to save it in. He stepped on the baseline.
Yeah. Right idea.
Bangor's turned it over 3 times in a row.
And those are turnovers, not takeaways. Not good.
6:04 to go, third quarter. 25-23. Lawrence leads by 2. Lawrence with possession. Knights had it. Now he'll bring it up to Reynolds. Tommy Reynolds, guarded by John Tennant, goes to Richards. And now Dyer, Kelly Dyer holds the ball and hands it back off to Reynolds. Reynolds in the lane, good catch. Richards up strong, he'll score.
Partially blocked by Reed, but real good strength.
4-point lead for Bangor, or for Lawrence rather, over Bangor. 27-23, John Tennant. Bradford in the corner, down low, will have a foul called. It'll be on Billy Cole of Lawrence. Roger Reed going to the bench. He'll bring Nat Clark back into the game.
Just find the open man down on the blocks, go to the inside. Commented on real good strength as far as following through, and we got a better look at it there where he was perhaps bumped twice.
5:17 left in the third quarter. You're gonna tape it up, Willie, which would indicate they're trying to get him back in the game.
Well, I'll tell you, he had another type of apparatus on it that people with poor ankles have. He took that off, but now they're resorting to the tape. That's big time when you have to tape it.
Ankle problems are often chronic. To the baseline, Tennant lost the handle. Loose picked up by Bradford. Can't get it. The tip by Reed won't go. And Billy Cole clears for Lawrence. 27-23, Lawrence with the ball in the lead. Reynolds will set it up for the Bulldogs from Fairfield. Allen Richards, Dyer now. Reynolds in the lane. Cole, the turnaround. Around and in.
Shooter's bounce.
Lawrence by 6, 29-23.
If Lawrence continues to play this well, Harris might not get in even if he can.
Pickering, nice move. Good ball fake and strong move to the basket by Chris Pickering, who leads back to 4 at 29-25. Lawrence looking for the upset. Kelly Dyer goes to Reynolds. Old Town and Skowhegan to follow tonight. Dyer, Reynolds again. Reynolds moves on Tennant, stops. Looking for Cole in this third quarter. Back out to Dyer, kicks it to the corner. And we'll have steps called on Keith Knights.
Yeah.
The word from the Lawrence bench is that Aaron Harris will return to the game.
how effective. I've seen people try to play with broken legs. They may want to try, but
he's a terrific player. Had 11 first half points.
oh, he's going to give it a go. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
John Tennant for Bangor. The Rams down 4. 3:42 to go, third quarter. Dean Heaston inside. Mark Reed. 29-27.
Baby hook, Joe. Haven't seen one all night.
He's got the whole arsenal. Reynolds drives in the lane, draws traffic, knocked away in a steal. Reed.
No, that's Old Town Joe.
Up on the right, Heaston lost it out of bounds. And Lawrence will get it back.
Reed will go inside, outside on you. He's matched up with Reynolds now. One-on-one basketball. Again, that little turnaround hook, what we refer to as a baby hook.
Oh, I get it. Arsenal, the Arsenal. And you said that's Old Town. Ah, good one.
Oh, I misunderstood you.
Not Arsenal.
It takes me, even after 3 or 4 years, it takes me a while.
3 minutes, 20 seconds to go, third quarter. Lawrence 29 and Bangor 27. Reynolds brings it up. Dyer off quickly to Keith Knights. Murray there defensively on Knights. Knights will bring it up top. Looking for Reynolds, gets it to him. Tommy Reynolds takes over for Lawrence. Moves to the baseline, brings it back out. Cole, now Dyer. Cole again, outside the three-point line. That's off, knocked out of bounds. Bangor ball. Last touch by Andy Goggin of Lawrence. Bangor gets back, looking to tie. 29-27, Lawrence on top. 2:43 to go in the third quarter. Reed dribbles top of the key, got bumped down, and they'll call the foul on Tommy Reynolds of Lawrence.
You didn't see this. Harris is out in the hall running around. McGee gets up and looks, goes, "Where's he going?" Trainer goes, "Going out, run around the hall." That's good.
Third quarter action, 2-point lead. Second foul on Lawrence's Tommy Reynolds. The lead belongs to Lawrence. John Tennant with it, knocked away a steal. Kelly Dyer off to Goggin. He landed off to Reynolds. Reynolds drives to the corner, shuts down there, and he'll reorganize. Reynolds brings it up high for Dyer. Dyer's a senior at 5'11". Reynolds looking for Cole, goes to Dyer instead. Inside the free throw line, Dyer off the glass.
Called it. Must be a great horse player.
31-27. Lawrence back up by 4. 2:07 to go, third quarter. Semifinal action in the Eastern Maine Class A tournament. Down low, Reed, that hook again. 2 in a row from the same spot by Mark Reed. And it's 31-29 with 1:50 left until the end of the third quarter. Reynolds for Lawrence. A patient offense. Dyer guarded by Reed. Goggin now. Cross court for Knights. Inside Cole gets a step, shoots over Pickering, can't get it. Reed got fouled going for the rebound. He'll be on either Billy Cole or Andy Goggin. And they'll call it on Cole. Cole, the 6'4" junior. 31-29 Lawrence.
And that could be the most important substitution of the ball game.
Aaron Harris back in for the Lawrence Bulldogs. 3 fouls now on Billy Cole. Harris turned his ankle, they taped it up, and he's back in there. His team still up on top. They survived his absence. Reed puts Bangor back in the lead. A three-pointer, 32-31.
Most good jump shooters will go to their weak side, their left side. Why? Because they don't velocitize as much, they don't drift, they can pull up quicker and take that smooth fadeaway.
Dyer moves it into the corner. Harris will drive baseline, pulls up, throws it to Goggin in the lane. He's stripped by Bradford, and Reed's away for Bangor. Pulls up, a three-point try. Got it!
That's 24.
35-31. Bangor by 4. Reed turned a 2-point deficit into a 4-point lead with 2 quick shots. 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Reynolds lost the handle, runs it down in the corners, can't save it in. Bangor ball.
He's a straight shooter. He's either going to make 10 in a row or miss 10 in a row. When he's on, he's on. Have to have that high-stepping little, hey, I got that one down.
We saw the emotion in Mark Reed so many times last year. It was a lot of fun. And there it is again. We'll go to Bradford now, back out to Reed. He caught it more cleanly. He might have shot again, but had to handle it. Now Murray will hand it back off to Reed. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Reed will use a Clark pick. He'll fire a long three. Got it! From the bench, Mark Reed.
He's on.
Mark Reed lights it up to finish off the third quarter with three-pointers.
He is on. He was, I think, his father's foot was in bounds when he stepped on it and let it go.
Bangor by 7 after 3. It's been a game of dramatic swings of momentum. Right now, the momentum to Bangor and Mark Reed. As the fourth quarter gets underway, he steals the ball.
Yep.
3 3-pointers at the end of the third quarter by Reed, and Bangor is up by 7. Reed pressured, goes to Pickering, and now Ryan Bradford. Tennant, John Tennant to the basket, strong, missed the shot. And the rebound cleared away by Alan Richards of Lawrence. Cole will come back in for the Bulldogs. Aaron Harris. Dyer now for Reynolds. Looking inside, Reynolds moves it back out to Harris. Harris steps in, shoots, blocked by Tennant. A foul will be called on John Tennant.
Well, up until this point, Bangor's had 3 TOs, takeaways, TAs, TOs. We're getting into the end of the ball game here. Not turnovers, but Bangor has played some outstanding defense, and they have led to scores. 2 of those being 3-pointers at the end of the third quarter for Reed.
Both teams have played very well defensively tonight, as evidenced by the score. It's only 38-31 in the fourth quarter, and these are 2 teams with a lot of offensive weapons.
Yeah.
One of them is Aaron Harris, who makes the free throw. His first point since coming back in after turning that ankle. And the 6'3" senior will try again. 38-32. Harris shot up, good. Bangor by 5. Reed with the ball. This Lawrence team's shown its grit several times in this game already. They'll hang in. The ball's lost out of bounds by Mark Reed off his foot. And Lawrence will get it back.
Before the first half, when Mark was having his crossover dribble out in front of him, Reynolds was getting a piece of it. So what Mark has to do now, he's either got to go between the legs or behind the back. He can't crossover dribble in front of him. Reynolds is just too quick.
Harris, speaking of quick, gets up, misses the shot. It was blocked by Bradford. And Reed's got it for John Tennant. Tennant to the right sideline. Now Ryan Bradford out to Tennant again. They'll move Pickering off a pick, but Tennant will go the other way. John Tennant shuts down, gets to Chris Pickering. Tennant again. Boy, is Reynolds making it tough for Reed to get the ball. Pickering, top of the key. Dean Heaston. Heaston moves on Dyer, brings it back out for Bradford. Inside for Reed. Reed fakes, goes up and hits.
Mark did well to stay in the blocks, take his time, and get the big mismatch.
And a nice feed by Ryan Bradford.
No help side defense, nothing. It was one-on-one basketball in the paint.
Tennant knocked it away, but Harris recovered. Harris goes in the lane, brings it back out for Reynolds. Reynolds moves on Reed. Dyer in the corner. Inside steal by Dean Heaston.
Another takeaway. Great team defense for the Rams.
40-33. Bangor up by 7. 5:36 to go. We're in the fourth quarter. Reed to Pickering. Hands it off to Ryan Bradford. Bradford double teamed around that screen. Goes to Heaston. He'll shoot over Cole. That won't go. Rebound to Pickering. He puts it back. That's off Harris's hand, out of bounds. Bangor ball.
Just a looping pass over the top. And what again was important, no help side defense.
5:18 left. We're in the fourth quarter. Bangor's up by 7. Lawrence takes timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Behind a 29-point performance so far by senior guard Mark Reed, the Bangor Rams have established a 7-point lead over Lawrence at 40-33. Old Lawrence team, Willie, has 4 more points than Reed has.
Oh, well, again, Mark's a streak shooter, and if he's got the opportunity to fire it, he's going to fire it.
We've never seen a better example in following Mark Reed for 4 years than the end of this third quarter tonight. He just nailed 3 3-pointers, each one progressively farther away. Knocked away at midcourt, run down by Easton in backcourt. And Bangor will get set up again. Reed pulls up, fires from the left. That's off, no good. The rebounding action, a foul will be called. And it'll go on Chris Pickering of Bangor. He pushed off against Kelly Dyer. That'll be 3 on Pickering.
Yeah, we're a long ways away from the 1-and-1. Lawrence has 3 personals, team personals. Bangor only has 2, and we've got 5 minutes left to go in the fourth.
It's been a game of streaks and momentum swings, and there's certainly plenty of time for at least a couple more of those. This Lawrence team is very, very tough. They're only down 7 with 5 minutes to go. Billy Cole finds Reynolds. Inside for Richards, couldn't get it. Now Reynolds will drive, shoots over Pickering. Can't get it. The ball's knocked out of bounds by Harris. Bangor ball.
Yeah.
Harris has to be hurting, Willie. There's no way that ankle cannot be sore. But he's still running the floor and jumping very well.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
To his credit that he's overcoming that and still playing real well. Tennant in trouble, gets it knocked away and a steal. Dyer for Reynolds. Kicks it back. Harris will pull up in the corner and then bring it to the top of the key. Easton will be called for a foul.
Yeah. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. If the ball hadn't been coming in his direction, it would have been called. But he did. He blocked the offensive player from coming to the ball. Just one of those fouls that you don't deserve, but it's a foul, so you got to call it.
Bangor 40, Lawrence 33, 4:25 to go. Way out deep, that's off by Aaron Harris. Good rebound, Alan Richards. Reynolds from the top, off the rim, no good. Easton crashes in, runs into Tennant, and the ball's away to Mark Reed. Up 4, Tennant is okay. Bradford now, Easton at the top. Reed will take it. About 4 feet closer to the basket than where he hit that 3-pointer from. Whips it down low for Tennant. Great look by Mark Reed, 42-33 Bangor. Officials called time here, and Tennant will go over to the bench. John Tennant may be shaken up.
Yeah, there was a collision underneath. I think it might have been Harris. Harris, Tennant, and Eaton, they were the ones that got together. And somebody was coming out, probably Tennant.
Tennant paid the price there. He looks like he has a nosebleed.
Yeah. Those have been known to happen.
And with the new rules this year, a lot stricter precautions when a player does bleed. To the hoop, strong. The shot is good by Harris. And he'll go to the line for a 3-pointer. Great move by Aaron Harris.
Certainly got around some defenders. Ankle didn't seem to be bothering too much on that one. Just looping it underneath.
3:40 to go in the fourth quarter. 42-35. The Bangor leads at 7. And Harris can cut it to 6. He does. 16 tonight for Aaron Harris. Reed in backcourt. Bradford now, make that Nat Clark. Clark just checked into the game. He'll hand it back to Mark Reed. 3:26 to go. 6-point Bangor lead. Reed, to the left side, gets to the baseline, goes up strong and lays it in. Slowed down and accelerated, Willie, and got to the hoop.
Reynolds has got the better of him at times. He certainly got the better of Reynolds that time. So it's been give and take both ways.
At the free throw line, Goggin kicks it out. They move it to Cole on the left side. Kelly Dyer, 44-36. Bangor by 8. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Up top for Harris. Harris tries to move off a pick, but Pickering is there. Now Easton steps up. Reynolds At the top of the key, guarded by the bigger Pickering. Finds Kelly Dyer. Harris from out deep. Hits it. Aaron Harris shoots over Mark Reed for 3. And the lead's back at 5, 44-39. Huge hoop by Aaron Harris.
That took some effort. I'm not sure who was on him. We'll get another look at it. It was Reed. I mean, you saw his left foot, how his left foot came out. He doesn't want to come back down on that. It's one of two.
Basket.
Yeah, either Reed or Harris.
Great battle, 2 great players, 2 great teams. 44-39. Bangor up by 5 with 2:20 left. They clear out one side for Reed. He's closely guarded for 5 seconds by Reynolds. And Bangor will get it back, or will give it up rather. Lawrence will get it back. Good work defensively by Tommy Reynolds. Bangor wants timeout. 2:17 left. The Rams lead it by 5. We'll be back in 30 seconds. The big Bangor crowd and their cheerleaders having a great time tonight. Their team is up by 5 in a terrific semifinal game between Lawrence and Bangor. 2:17 to go. It's Bangor 44 and the Lawrence Bulldogs 39. This game will be followed by the other semifinal that will feature Old Town and Skowhegan. Roger Reed, the veteran Bangor coach, has been here many times, as has his counterpart, Mike McGee. McGee first as a player in the late 70s. You know, some fine teams. Reynolds with the ball. John Tennant back into the game right before that timeout, by the way, at the nosebleed. Harris brings it up high for Dyer. Dyer to Harris, challenged by Tennant. Across to Dyer again. Outside, Reynolds will take a 3. He hits it. 44-42, Bangor. 1:50 left.
That'll get you going if you're from Lawrence.
John Tennant. Easton. Back out to Tennant. Quickly, they jump out on Tennant. He's fouled. Foul will be called on Aaron Harris.
Now, there's no 1-and-1.
For either team. Timeout call by Mike McGee of Lawrence with 1:37 left. Bangor leads Lawrence by 2. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. A look at that last Lawrence hoop. A big one by Reynolds, Willie.
Yeah, Reynolds usually doesn't give you the impression that he's going to shoot that 3, but he certainly did that time and made it good.
He has played a tremendous game for Lawrence. Bangor with the ball and a 2-point lead. 44-42 and a foul called backcourt on Kelly Dyer.
I think what they want to do, McGee wants to get them into the 1-and-1 real quick. If not, they're going to hold the ball. And someone once said, if you haven't got the ball, you can't score. I'm not sure if that was Yogi or not.
And again, Bradford will inbound on the sideline back into Pickering for John Tennant. 1:32 to go. Bangor by 2. There's contact. Tennant gets free. He's bumped. The foul will go on Richards.
See, that's what they want. They want to put them in the 1-and-1.
One more. We'll do it.
Yeah. And Kelly, I think, was wondering, I mean, Dyer, say, I tripped him. They didn't call it. Why won't they? They want that personal.
So Bangor will inbound again, this time on the sideline in forecourt. Yeah. 44-42. Bangor up by 2. 1:29 left.
And this is taking a chance.
Tennant takes the inbound pass. Reynolds on him. Tennant spins to the right side. Goes up. He got fouled.
Yeah.
He will shoot this time. The question is, will it be 1-on-1 or 2?
That's right. And sure, this is a bump and run all the way. See what they, no, they're going to give him 1-on-1. They'd say he was not in the act of shooting on that last one.
So John Tennant's at the line with 1:23 seconds to go. His Bangor team leads Lawrence 44-42. Third foul of the game on Tommy Reynolds.
This is where you really roll the dice. If he makes both of them, you come down, get a 3. Then you've traded 3 for 2. But what happens if he makes all of them, you miss? It's a chance. But that's why high school coaches get paid the big bucks.
Spoken as a former high school coach of the Orono Red Riots. Made one and missed one. The rebound's away to Lawrence.
A 3 and it's a tie.
1:20 left. Lawrence with the ball. They'll want Harris to shoot if they can get him free. He steps in the lane. The runner blocked by Bradford. A foul on Ryan Bradford. Aaron Harris going to the line. 1:11 to go.
They're trying to isolate. They want to get their man that they feel is going to have the better opportunity. In this case, it's going to be Harris. He goes up. We're not going to get a good look at the whole thing. But he'll be on the line for two.
Aaron Harris with 1:11 left, a chance to bring his team to within one. Harris makes the first one.
It's a chess game, you see. All right. Lawrence countered, went to the foul line, made one, missed one, and now we're at the other end. Lawrence right now, it's going their way. This is what they wanted. Down by one now.
45-44, 1:11 to go. Lawrence will press. Bradford brings it in for Tennant. Again, it's fouled in backcourt.
Lawrence does this. You have to give credit in their fouling, and people say, well, why are you giving them credit? This is tough to teach kids in this situation in a game to foul somebody, but not foul them so it's going to be an intentional where they get two shots, take it out at half court, and then we start the whole process again. And this started, what, a minute, a little bit more than a minute ago as far as getting to that seventh foul, that 1-on-1 situation.
Tennant shot up, no good. The rebound away to Lawrence. Taken down the lane by Goggin. Lawrence down by one, 45-44, the Bulldogs with the ball. Final minute of play, Reynolds to the baseline, spins back. They'll go to Aaron Harris. Harris back to the right side. Reynolds hit one from there a moment ago. He'll go in the lane and move on Reed. Harris, Reynolds, the leaner, that won't go. Knocked around, loose ball, Tennant. John Tennant away for Bangor. Tennant on the break, he's fouled. Hard foul, hustling back by Aaron Harris. He had no choice, Willie.
No, nothing unsportsmanlike about that. I know if you're a Bangor fan, you don't like it. It's a game of basketball. You could tell, right, it was simply, he's not bringing the ball up. There was nothing jumping on the back, pushing from behind. That was a strip. Yeah, when you've got two kids going that speed, of course you're going to have a collision.
36 seconds to go. John Tennant will be back at the line. 45-44 is the score. Bangor's up by one. Two shots for John Tennant. Bangor by two.
Harris can cover some ground, can he?
Wow, with a sore ankle, no less.
Serious Jets.
Two big free throws by John Tennant. 47-44, Bangor by three. Reynolds will let it bounce, doesn't want the clock to start. Now he'll pick it up. Tommy Reynolds moves on Reed. Off for Harris, guarded by Tennant. Harris goes in the lane, kicks it back out. Billy Cole for three, got it! Tied at 47. A steal at midcourt by Goggin. Lawrence has it back. 16 seconds to go. Lawrence wants timeout. Mike McGee trying to settle his troops down and get him to the bench.
That's what the assistants are for. You take him, and him, and put him right here.
16 seconds left. Lawrence has tied the game at 47 on a left corner three-pointer by Billy Cole.
But more important, who has the ball? Lawrence. Their ball. They've got 16 seconds. They can either hold it, go into overtime. You can get fouled, go to the line, but it has to be a shooting foul. Or at least you're going to get the last shot of the game.
Well, this one sure lived up to its billing. The game of the Class A tournament so far, probably.
And it's just been going back and forth, back and forth. It sounds rather trite, but it simply is going to depend on who's ahead when the gun goes off.
Which will be 16 playing seconds from now. Lawrence will inbound. on the sideline. Into Aaron Harris. You can see the clock in the corner. Harris moves in on Tennant. Harris will take the shot. If he can, but he can't. He'll go off to Reynolds. Reynolds in the lane. Puts it up. No good. Off to the corner, Tennant. 2 seconds left. The long shot. No good. We're going overtime.
Now be honest, Joe, you thought that was going in.
It looked like it had a bit of a chance, the length of the court.
It had a real good chance.
It was about the right distance, but a little wide. 32 minutes can't settle it. 3 minutes of overtime coming up.
This takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to go in, take that last shot. But again, you didn't have anything to lose because you were up. When Tennant let that one fly, and again, some people are going to watch that and say, there's a three-point attempt. He was fouled. But that, I guess that's what tournament tradition is.
What a gritty comeback by this Lawrence team. You really have to give them credit.
Sure.
At the end of the third quarter, Reed hit 3 three-pointers.
Now, who's going to jump out of the blocks right here? I'm not sure who'll get possession of the ball. Now, wait a minute. Stop and think what I just said for a minute. It's overtime. We're going to jump it up again. Let's get with the program.
It's only fair.
Yes.
The game's first tip jump ball between John Tennant and Aaron Harris was controlled by Tennant.
Yeah.
And this time, will Harris come in? Yes, he will. And how about the way Harris played after injuring his ankle?
I'm really impressed that he was able to come back and play with the ability he had. I honestly did not think he'd be back.
Reynolds gets it for Lawrence. The Bulldogs with the ball. We're in overtime, tied at 47. A spot in the Eastern Maine Championship game on the line. Reynolds up to the hoop, he scores. A great, great game by number 42 of Lawrence tonight. Reed will bring it to Pickering. Chris Pickering goes to the basket. He'll get blocked, but a foul will be called. Aaron Harris came over. Harris helping out, gets called for the foul.
Reynolds has been going one-on-one all night. The thing that surprised, I think, a lot of people was when he took that three, maybe that loosened up the defense a little, where he could just get that extra step. Harris, again, he seems to be everywhere. It's only his third personal. He'll put Pickering to the line. Bangor went up and ran that stack offense that they do, foul line extended, break someone free, and just go one-on-one on the backside, try and lay it in.
Fouls on Alan Harris's third. Alan Richards comes back in as Pickering hits.
How would you describe it? Would you say going into our 7th overtime, or would you be more excited than that, Joe?
We may get a chance to find out if this keeps up. 49-49. In overtime, 2:24 left. Kelly Dyer. Harris in the lane. Cole blocked by Easton. And Easton comes up with the ball.
That's a heck of a defensive block. He got it before he even brought the ball above his waist.
Reed will bring it up, guarded by Reynolds. Tennant now. The right sideline. Tennant will move toward the corner, bring it back to Mark Reed. 1:58 left. 49-49. Pickering. He'll go up same way again. Pulls it back out to Reed. Reed fakes the shot, steps in the lane. The runner's up off, no good. A follow by Dean Heaston, no good. Tipped around. Reed puts it in.
Yeah, Reed made the bucket, but credit Easton for keeping it alive.
A minute and a half to go in overtime. Bangor's back up by 2. Reynolds in the lane, knocked away Heaston. Dean Heaston again on the defensive end. Got a hand on the ball. Mark Reed to the right side. Reynolds there defensively, working hard. Reed double teamed, he'll be fouled. Reed gets fouled with 1:11 left in overtime, and Bangor up 51-49.
And they're 1-1, and we go back to that action that put Bangor in the lead with the players, and we commented on Easton keeping it up. Reed had a couple of shots at it, and finally his third attempt, he was good.
The more You see a player like Dean Heaston, the more impressed you become.
I don't think he's appreciated. Not that gentleman there. I'm sure everyone appreciates him, but
Reed's free throws up, off, no good. The board is cleared by Lawrence and Alan Richards. The Bulldogs with a chance to tie. 1:05 left, overtime. Reynolds. It's 51-49, Bangor with the lead. Lawrence with the ball. Out deep, Harris, off, rebound. Knocked out of bounds, a foul will be called on Richards.
well, yeah, that's a foul. But we got to get on the other end and shoot some foul shots. It's only going to be a 1-and-1.
51 seconds to go in overtime.
Harris with a big jumper from the outside. Action underneath. No question about that one.
And Nat Clark will be at the line. That's a sophomore at 6'5".
Yeah.
A big part of the Bangor basketball future. Can't get the free throw. Bangor's missed 2 in a row. Billy Cole with a defensive rebound for Lawrence, and the Bulldogs again. A chance to knot this one up or take the lead with a 3. 40 seconds left in overtime. Tommy Reynolds. Harris in the lane. He'll drive to the baseline, leans back, puts it up. It didn't go. He got fouled.
I think everybody from Lawrence and Bangor, both sides, kind of held their breath on that.
Aaron Harris will go back to the line where he's 8 for 9 tonight.
That could have gone awfully easy.
Roger Reed wants a timeout. 32 seconds to go in overtime. Bangor by 2. We'll be back. Nice crowd tonight at Bangor Auditorium. First of 2 semifinals. Old Town will take on Skowhegan in the next game. Lawrence coach Mike McGee has overseen a tough performance by his team tonight.
And I think if you're either the Old Town coach or the Skowhegan coach, you got to be saying to yourself right now, let them play 4 or 5 more.
That promises to be a good matchup too. Old Town and Skowhegan. Aaron Harris at the line. The Bangor leads at 1. 51-50, 32 seconds left. This is the second. Reed's got the rebound. A long lead, Ryan Bradford. Heaston missed it. Bradford the foul. Can't get it, a foul call. Alan Richards called for the foul.
That was the reason why he didn't get it.
Easton will go to the line with 26 seconds left in the first
Big,
overtime.
long pass off the miss from Reed to Bradford, who sees Eaton underneath, goes up with it a little bit. We didn't get the hand on the back side of it. A little too much drift with some help. And that was 5. Someone's going to the bench.
Alan Richards has fouled out.
Richards.
With 26 seconds to go in overtime. Based on Mike McGee's substitution pattern so far tonight, you might look for Andy Goggin.
Yeah. Now tell me what Easton's shooting from the line.
On the season, 80.6%.
Keep all of these stats, and I'm amazed at how I'm impressed.
Just a matter of writing them down, Willie. Reading them back.
I give you this big build-up.
Thanks anyway. Happy birthday again, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. And you're waiting for me to say something about sportscaster of the U.S.
No, not really. Easton puts it up and hits it. 52-50, Bangor. Up 2 with 26 seconds left in overtime. Dean Heaston. Makes them both.
That's a big foul shot. Now it's 3. 2 possessions.
Roger Reed wants a timeout. 26 seconds left in overtime. Bangor by 3. We'll be back. The Lawrence Bulldogs looking for a spot in the Eastern Maine Championship game. They've got the ball, down by 3. 53-50 with 26 seconds left in overtime. Bangor will back off. They'll be in no hurry to pick up the defense, so Harris will pick it up and bring it over midcourt. 23 seconds left. Harris in the lane, kicks it out for Cole. There's a collision. They'll call it on Harris.
Yeah.
Guess who drew the foul? Number 40, Dean Heaston.
Yeah. Harris has done this a couple of times. It's gone the other way, or there's been a no call. This time, once too many times to the well.
Reed will get fouled in backcourt by Harris. That'll be 5 on Harris. So Harris will foul out. He's despondent over the fact that he did foul Mark Reed with 20 seconds to go in overtime. So the second Lawrence player fouls out. Alan Richards first, and now Aaron Harris, who's had a tremendous game and a tremendous tournament so far, will also foul out. And Keith Knights is back in.
Reed on the line.
And what a gutty performance by that young man tonight. Aaron Harris went down in the third quarter, early third quarter, turning an ankle, and he came back and played just as hard as ever.
I think that's what's very impressive in my mind.
Mark Reed, 1-1 with 20 seconds left in overtime. In and out, and the rebound off to Cole. 17 seconds left. Bangor by 3. Reynolds poked away. Reynolds recovers. Top of the key. Off for Cole. 7 seconds. Cole tied up Reed. A steal. Heaston taken back by Reynolds. Knocked away. We've got a whistle, and a foul will be called on Pickering with 3 seconds to go.
I think someone may question and say, was he attempting to shoot that ball from the back of the three-point line? I don't think so.
Ball was on the floor and it was being knocked around.
Would have been a heck of an effort if someone had thought of it, though.
Really a very good foul by Chris Pickering under those circumstances. 3 seconds to go in overtime. Bangor up by 3.
Just a scramble for the ball. Someone eventually came up with it.
As Pickering ran into, I thought it was Reynolds, but Dyer will shoot.
I think it was Reynolds.
At any rate, Kelly Dyer is at the line.
You want to tell me what Mr. Pickering's shooting for a percentage as opposed to Reynolds?
Dyer shoots 60%. Reynolds 49.5. Timeout by Bangor. 3 seconds left. A 2-point lead for Bangor. Lawrence's.
I'd like to see that again.
Kelly Dyer will be shooting.
Now we see where Pickering is. Pickering's weighing back. Now we have that confrontation for the ball with Cole. It's knocked away by Reed. The scramble ensues over to Eaton. Reynolds comes up with it.
Whammo.
There it is. Yeah. Mr. Kelly just happened to be in the vicinity.
So Kelly Dyer gets the shots, and he made the first one. Now, Willie, 3 seconds left. You're down 2. You have to try to miss this, right?
No. Oh, no. You might call a timeout. Not a good percentage. Take a timeout, and then maybe you go. And I'm not putting words in coaches' mouths because my winning percentage does not allow me to do that, believe me.
Dyer shoots. He does miss it. A rebound away to Bangor. Oh, it almost went up. We got a foul called, and it'll be on Lawrence with 2 seconds left. Reynolds called for the foul.
Yeah.
Boy, that ball popped out of there up in the direction of the basket at that whistle.
That's his fifth.
Reynolds becomes the 3rd Lawrence player to foul out of this game. And what a game Tommy Reynolds played tonight for Lawrence in every respect. Kern Kelly will come in the game. He's a 5'10 junior. Check that. It'll be Ryan Witham, the 6'4 senior. Witham will come in to replace Reynolds. 2 seconds to go in overtime. 53-51. Bangor with the lead, and their senior, John Tennant, at the line for 1-1. He makes them both. It's all over. It's no good. Will Lawrence get the shot off? They do. And that's it. The Bangor Rams survive. A great challenge from a tough team from Fairfield, the Lawrence Bulldogs. Mark Reed showing that emotion we became so accustomed to last year. He had a great game. You really have to feel for that Lawrence team, Willie. They played just so hard all night long.
It has to be a classic. Again, I have a tendency to be redundant. We said at the beginning it was going to be what we felt perhaps a better, quote, team. Define that as you will. We may be wrong as far as emotion. I think that held true. Lawrence played one heck of a game. Certainly we commented on Harris with his ankle going down, coming back in and playing as well as he did. Outstanding.
We'll go down to the Bangor Auditorium floor. Tim Throckmorton will talk with Roger Reed, the victorious Bangor coach, when we come back to the Bangor Auditorium in 90 seconds.
We're back at the Bangor Auditorium, joined by Roger Reed, Bangor coach. Roger, that was as physical a semifinal game as I've seen in a while.
Yes, Lawrence plays tremendously hard on defense, and I mean they were blocking everything, and they were playing extremely hard and making us. They were extending us on offense because they were playing so hard, taking everything away from us. But we feel lucky to get away with a victory. It's a great team and a great effort, and we just feel very fortunate.
There were a lot of timeouts down the stretch in the end of the game and in the overtime. Were you talking basket to basket, or were you trying to settle them down and to do some things you wanted?
Well, the big thing was we wanted to make sure that they knew how many timeouts we had. We used some to ice foul shooters. We wanted to continually impress upon them that they had to help out on Harris, had to be aware of where he was at all time and help out on screens and picks.
What would you talk about now after this game? What would you like them to know in 24 hours before the next game?
Well, we got to sort of put this one behind us real quick, and we got to get ready for tomorrow, and it'll be an equally tough game tomorrow. It should be a great, great, great final.
Congratulations, Roger. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Roger Reed, Bangor High School coach. He'll have a chance to, I don't know if he can, relax and watch this one. Skowhegan and Old Town coming up in a moment. Let's go first back upstairs, guys.